Amara Greco didn't choose the dangerous life that had become her reality. As the daughter of a powerful mafia boss, she'd spent her life trying to escape her family's dark influence. She lived quietly, running a small bookstore by the sea, far from the noise of her past. She wanted peace, a life without threats and secrets. But that all changed the night a familiar, unsettling figure walked into her shop. Raghav Vittori was notorious in her world. Known for his cold ruthlessness and icy gaze, he commanded respect and fear wherever he went. But tonight, he wasn't here to do business. His presence was darker, heavier, as if he carried an invisible storm within him. The way he looked at Amara wasn't the look of a stranger. It was the look of someone who had come to collect what he was owed. "Amara," he said, his voice low, carrying the weight of years and secrets. "We need to talk." She looked up from her book, her heart skipping a beat, a thrill and fear mingling in her veins. She remembered him from her past. He was always the shadow she tried to escape. The one her family had warned her about. He had once made a promise that he would come back for her. She thought he'd forgotten, but he hadn't. "What do you want, Raghav?" she asked, forcing her voice to stay calm, even as her pulse raced. "Your father betrayed me. He owes me a debt. And until I collect, you belong to me." It was a bold statement, one that sent a shiver down her spine. She knew what belonging to a man like Raghav could mean, a life tangled in violence, secrets, and fear. Yet, there was something else in his eyes, a flicker of pain, a hint of vulnerability beneath the steel. Against her will, Amara felt drawn to that darkness. A longing to understand the man hidden behind the ruthless mask. Against her better judgment, she agreed to go with him. But as they spent time together, traveling through shadowed city streets and remote safehouses, she began to see the man beneath the mafia boss. Raghav's rough edges softened around her, revealing moments of unexpected tenderness that left her breathless. He would guard her fiercely, yet his touch was gentle, lingering, as if he were afraid she'd disappear. At night, their conversations grew deeper, revealing secrets and scars neither had ever shared. But just when she felt she might be breaking through his walls, a sudden twist shattered her world. Raghav had been harboring a secret. Her father hadn't betrayed him. Instead, Raghav had lied to get closer to her. He'd manipulated events to draw her into his life, hoping she would see him not as an enemy but as the man who had always loved her from afar. It was a dangerous love, one he knew she could never understand, yet he couldn't let her go. When Amara discovered the truth, her heart broke. The man she had come to care for, to maybe even love, was nothing but a web of lies and deception. She confronted him, her voice filled with fury and pain. "How could you? After everything we've been through, all that I shared with you, was it all a game to you?" Raghav, for the first time, looked at her with desperation in his eyes. "Amara, it was never a game. I did what I had to protect you. I knew that if I didn't, they would come for you. I couldn't let that happen. Not to you." Torn between rage and the raw emotions they'd shared, Amara turned to leave, but Raghav pulled her back, his grip unyielding yet gentle. "I won't let you go, Amara. Not like this." He leaned closer, his voice a tortured whisper. "You may hate me, but you're the only light I've ever known in this darkness. I'd rather you hate me than let anyone else have you." Their argument erupted into a passionate, fiery embrace. Their kiss was filled with anger, regret, and an aching need that left them breathless. But even as she surrendered to him, Amara knew their love was built on fragile ground, threatened by the world they could never escape. The next day, Amara disappeared, leaving only a single note. "You took my trust, Raghav. If you truly love me, you'll prove it by leaving me alone." Heartbroken, Raghav let her go, honoring her request. But he never stopped watching over her from the shadows, protecting her in silence, even if she never knew. Years passed, and they lived separate lives, yet their love remained like a ghost between them, haunting every quiet moment. Though their paths might never cross again, they each carried the scars of a love that defied reason, a love that would forever be bound by shadows. Epilogue. Years later, Amara is at a charity gala, representing her new life away from the past. She's moved on in many ways but has never been able to shake the memories of her time with Raghav. While scanning the crowd, she senses a familiar presence, a heartbeat she would recognize anywhere. She turns, and there he is, standing across the room, his intense gaze fixed on her. For a moment, time stops. Neither of them moves, as if the years have melted away, bringing them back to the night when it all began. He approaches, his expression a mix of longing and vulnerability. Amara, he says softly, a hint of his old confidence, but with a gentleness that wasn't there before. I told myself I'd let you go. But some promises are impossible to keep. She feels her heart race, her own emotions warring between love and pain. But as she looks into his eyes, she realizes that their story was never truly over. There was always an unfinished chapter, waiting for them to write together. With a hesitant smile, she reaches for his hand, and just like that, their love story begins anew. They've been through storms and darkness, but in this moment, they both know some loves are meant to find their way back, no matter how many years pass or how many shadows try to keep them apart.